Okay, hello and welcome back. This will be part 5 of our Schuylkill Navigation System walk along. We started off near exit lock 25 and we've made our way down to Port Clinton. The last video wrapping up at the Port Clinton Canal lock plaque. And we are now at Port Clinton Landing. And this is Port Clinton Playground. This is actually where we called home base today. So at this point in the canal, we have outlet locks entering back into the river. The river would have been deeper at this point because of the Blue Mountain Dam a couple of miles to the south of us. So there would have been a pool of slack water here, and there would have been a large coal dump here from the Little Schuylkill Railroad, where they had a coal dumping area and they met up with the canal. So you've got your barges coming out from what was Hummel's Canal, now in the river much higher. Let's go see if we can find some of these old coaling docks. Now the thumbnail that I'm going to use for this video, you will see how it used to look. And you can see where the coal hoppers were staged and the canal boats were parked. All that's filled in with land now. There's actually a baseball field sitting right on top of where the canal boats used to go. But 200 years ago, this was all dammed up through here. And none of this was here. This would have been an area where the canal boats were once parked and loaded with the coal coming off the Little Schuylkill Railroad. How you doing, folks? I'm good, thank you. So I'm somewhere in this area, possibly where we're now walking, where this fence is, still would have been the towpath. It's over here somewhere, because as I mentioned, the river would be much higher with slack water, and we'd be making our way towards the coal docking area. Obviously, this land has been since backfilled and reworked, but we're pretty much following the old path. I wonder if we can get down through here. I think we can. Cool. This is kind of what I was hoping for. So again, yes, obviously not the towpath, but the area that the towpath was once in. Oh good, this could actually help drive home my point a little more. So we have some concrete here which doesn't fit the timeline, but if this area was still a hot spot for coal in the early 1900s, then, oh no, this is stacked stone. Now I don't know what this is. With concrete on it, it almost looks like a bridge abutment, but I'm not sure why it would be here. Perhaps towpath related? I don't know, this one's throwing me for a loop right here. Okay, so at one time, this used to be a truss bridge, as you'll see in the thumbnail picture. And where we're at right now used to all be water. There were canal boats right where we're at. And they were backed up to the Little Little Schuylkill River Railroad. Okay, good. And this right here, all this land, this was water. This has canal boats in it 200 years ago, or 190 years ago. Okay, so this bridge right here, quick go underneath. This is a replacement bridge, obviously. Built by the Reading. But right over here, the towpath was somewhere in this area. These stones right here are either the old truss bridge foundations or the footbridge that crossed over the Little Schuylkill. So now the Schuylkill River has now merged with the Little Schuylkill River. And somewhere in this area, the towpath was coming through. It crosses over and continues along the east side of the now joined Little Schuylkill and Big Schuylkill rivers, and it proceeds its way down towards Hamburg, Pennsylvania. But again, this is a much higher level of water in the past due to the Blue Mountain Dam. Locks 28 and 29 further downriver. I think this stone is part of the abutment of the original truss bridge. Date stamp 1926. This is a Bethlehem steel bridge above us. It's got Bethlehem steel builder plates on it. If I'm not mistaken, it's got the same year on the builder plate as it does on the date stamp. I apologize for the wind, but it really feels great. It's hot today, and I am overdressed. So again, now we're standing in the filled-in area. This was all underwater at one time, and above us here is a coal docking area with coal cars, as you'll see in the thumbnail picture, and I'll repost that picture in the posts section of the channel. And then here's some of that original retaining wall where the coal hoppers used to sit on top of. How cool is that? So that's original coal docking, and right below that, right where we're standing, would be water and boats, not a baseball field and not railroad ties. This whole area water has been put in and taken out. It's just incredible. At the end of this year, beginning of next year, I want to do the Schuylkill River relocation project done by the Reading Railroad in the 1920s. That's an incredible procedure they did. But for now, a 200-year-old retaining wall for the anthracite industry. So now we're coming up on what is the Little Schuylkill River Railroad. Now today it's the Reading and Northern. As I mentioned in the previous videos, it was Philadelphia and Reading, Conrail, now Reading and Northern. But originally, the Little Schuylkill River Railroad, strap iron railroad, bringing anthracite from Tamaqua region down to the canal right here in Port Clinton, and then loaded on barges and sent to Philadelphia. So I believe the picture in the thumbnail was probably taken from up here, which is also where the Allentown and Auburn was going to be heading off in the direction that it was towards Auburn, Pennsylvania. The Allentown and Auburn would have been across the Schuylkill. This is all speculation, but from the maps that I've seen and from talking with other folks, it was going to cross right in this area. Probably somewhere right in here there would have been a grade coming and then turning, This is what I'm speculating. And then a bridge, and then down that way it would have went. Now, let's try and do this as best as I can. So, in the thumbnail you can see the truss bridge is here. All the coal hoppers are here. The canal boats would have been down below where these trucks are. And there would have been water down there. And they would have been loading the coal coming off the Little Schuylkill to the coal docks at Port Clinton and then on to the canal. Really, really cool to see the before and after shots. I'll do that. I'll take a picture of this area and put it up next to the pre-1900 picture. I don't even know when that picture's from. 1850s or 60s possibly. So before we wrap up, I thought this is kind of neat to see as well. Little history in the making. So they're replacing this old bridge that crosses the Schuylkill River here in Port Clinton. Bridge number 123, built 1926, which I believe coincides with the Reading Railroad Bridge. So a lot of these bridges were probably being replaced at the same time. But this one is on its last days. And this is kind of neat to see the construction. So here you have the Little Schuylkill River, and it's completely plugged up so they can build the new bridge. This is how they do it. They build a causeway. They've got their molds and their forms, and they're putting up new bridge piers. And looks like a spray foam bridge abutment. Wow, we've definitely not come a long way with the aesthetics of bridges, I must say. But still cool to see this in action. So they've got a pump draining the water out there. There's water trickling here. The main flow. It's just really cool to see all this. This is how they do it. And this is just a small little area. And again, I do believe that the Allentown and Auburn was going to cross somewhere in this area right here. All right, folks, thank you so very much for putting up with, well, a lot of time of me talking to my phone, but more importantly, talking to yous about a Little Schuylkill Canal history. Thanks, folks. Take care.